we'll let you open up with any comments that you'd like to make, and then we'll have some questions from the media.
Okay. I thought it was a really, really intense, hard-played game. Unlike any that we've probably been involved in this season. This game I thought was determined on the defensive end. I was real proud of our game plan against him, and was to try to take Darrington out of the game. And I think we did a pretty good job. He was 2 for 10, 1 for 6 from the three-point line. So I'm happy with that. The other half of the game plan was to recognize that left-handed guys usually like to drive left, and we got our left hand. You know, I wanted to call timeout one time and say it's your other left hand, and because Tisdale just he took us to the clean. He had a heck of a first half. You know, talk about the shot. It's within his shooting range. You know, he missed some the first half, pretty close to the same spot. You know, he didn't see me flinch. I didn't yank him out for it. You know, I mean, he was a long range shooter. So it wasn't exactly our play. We have a play, but thank God they didn't use it.
What were you thinking when you let that off? You had 5 seconds. I mean, you could have taken another dribble, gotten a little closer.
When Josh he advanced it up the court, and I think it was number 2 who was guarding me. He was backpedaling the whole time I was going full speed at him. So he just kept backing up, so I just stopped him down and just shot it.
And when you let it go?
Oh, I felt good when I let it go.
I felt better when it went through the net.
Follow up for Jordan. 0 for 4 in the first half. You know, a little tight maybe, but come unglued in the second half. 8 for 15, 3 or 7 from 3. What was the difference in your approach?
First, I'd like to say, you know, Vincent's a really good team, and I'm sure their game plan, like anybody else, was to take me out of the ball game, and they did a really good job of that in the first half. But second half, it was the same mentality, it was just making shots. You know, Coach Green has a lot of faith in me when I shoot the basketball, and I just felt comfortable, and I was just making shots in the second half.
Coach, one of the tightest games of the tournament. We didn't have a big lead by a team that lost it, and the other team, you know, had a big run at the end to take the victory. Or, you know, some games have a big lead, lose it, and then gain it back. So, 5-point lead, I think the biggest for Vincent, 6 for you. Is that what you expected out of the game? You know, when you came into it?
Yeah, I hoped it wasn't going to be that, but I did expect it. I know how Todd's teams play. I've watched his teams for years, and we actually played against him, I think, about 3 years ago up here. And they're going to execute. They're going to get good shots. The game is never going to get, up and down or out of hand. We would prefer the other, and I knew it was a contrasting style. And I mean, they took it to us. They took it to us. You know, I can almost sit here and tell you that the same thing. I mean, if you look, I know we won the game by 1 or 2 points or whatever, but I mean, it's a basket. There's a basket difference. You know, and, I thought they were really, really in tune to what they wanted to do, and really caused us problems. We would drive it and we couldn't finish. You know, I mean, they were quicker at the rim than I thought. We'd make the pass to the 5-man, and he couldn't get the ball above his drawstring. I mean, their hands were in there all the time, and we had so many opportunities. I think, but I mean, it's really good defense. It ain't lazy defense. I mean, I think they do it. Their hands are quick. They wouldn't let us finish. You know, you had to make more than one really, really good play on the offensive end, I think, to score. We got a couple of lobs for dunks. We got a couple of shots we put up there, and we followed, but we couldn't penetrate dish. We couldn't do it, and I think that was they really rotate well. Better than anybody we played, I'll tell you that.
In the first game, you lose the fact you don't think you'd ever won a game before by only taking 12 free throws.
Yeah.
And tonight you say that this was a different way to win than you.
Well, I thought it might be our best defensive effort of the year. It was it was too much of a half-court game for our liking. But that goes back to, they just wouldn't let us get out and go. And, we're generally not a, I don't want to throw this out there for other people, we're generally not, it doesn't really hurt you to foul us sometimes, because we're in the 60s, I think. For guys that can really shoot the ball, we don't shoot free throws that way. We need to back up behind the line, I think. So, to go 10 for 14, I got schooled in the coaches meeting not to say why I think we only shot 14 free throws. So I won't go there. But I thought there was a lot of activity around the glass, a lot of activity around the glass, and I don't think we got rewarded for sometimes. But we just didn't finish. We couldn't get the ball above, or like I said, we couldn't get the ball above the drawstring. The drawstring, you guys, is right here.
Coach, you mentioned last week that at this tournament there has to be a play that can't really be scripted. Just a fabulous play by one of your players to kind of get over the edge. Safe to say Jordan shot was that play?
No question. I watched basketball all my life, and I think teams that win national championships do something out of character. Somebody just goes off. My first team that won it up here, I had a guard, Nick O'Corey, that in the final game just was unstoppable. Of course, then the next time, Marshall Henderson just blitzed it, and he's following in those same guys' footsteps, and he hit the shot tonight. I told him before we came up here, Marshall came up here and had two really, really subpar games, and then caught fire. Can't get down on yourself, but we do have to figure out a way to win so you can finally get that opportunity. And to Jordan's credit, I don't know what he did at halftime. I don't know who he was channeling or anything, but he was a different guy the second half. And I wish he'd share it with some of the other guys.
Any other questions?
Jordan, you mentioned a couple times this year in the post-game interviews that y'all really knew you were going to have to find. There would be a time you have to find another way to win. They had 2 or 3 legitimate big men as good as y'all seen this year. Talk about what y'all did to have to pull this one out a different way.
Once again, Vince says having the 3 solid bigs they had, we haven't seen a 7-footer I don't think all year, and getting to the basket and having to adjust when we finished, that really hurt us in the first half. And then coach he told us in the second half, when we go to the basket, we got to finish. Basically, you either go up, pump fake, get them in the air, or pass the ball out. And I think we executed that really good in the second half and finished a bunch of layups.
Was there any moment or any chance you weren't going to take that shot at the end of the game, or is that?
It was.
I can answer that question. The only way he wouldn't have shot it if they didn't throw it to him.
I think Coach Green answered that pretty good.
How'd it feel coming off?
In all honesty, I'll tell you this: he was supposed to catch the ball in the dead corner.
Yeah,
But Josh, for some reason, coughed it up early. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we have a play. We have so I don't get questioned over there. Why didn't you call timeout? Why didn't you do this? We have a play.
What's that play called?
No, I don't know what it's called. I stole it from somebody on TV.
Anything else, guys? Just off the record, between Marshall and Jordan, who's got the better range? You don't have to answer.
Yeah, I think it's very similar. Marshall, I don't know if you guys remember, Marshall hit the shot up here that year.
Probably a little deeper or closer to the sideline.
Yeah, it was at the end of the shot clock. I think we had that game won anyway, but when that thing went up and roller and hit, it went straight up and then came back down, it was celebration time, But they have very similar games. He has more 1 skills than Marshall did. Marshall was strictly a 2. Strictly. And Jordan has all this stuff in his game that Marshall didn't. They're both fun to coach, I'll tell you that.
Both of those shots were in the air a long time. Right?
Yeah, and from pretty much the same spot. Thank you, guys.